Hello everyone, Eileen back with you again. It's the weekend, so there's another couple of Lavinia Stamps video tutorials for you. And the first one, today's, features the gorgeous fox, new fox, from the new release by Lavinia Stamps, and he's called Ash. Isn't he gorgeous? Behind Ash, I've got a tree, and that is called Fairy Fir Tree 2. More about that in a moment. Let's get going. Piece of copy paper, and I've got a piece of cardstock, multifarious cardstock, A4 size, folded in half, creased and cut to 14 centimetres by 14 centimetres square. I'm just going to put the card up in front of me so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to pop a piece of copy paper into the card. I like my cards tenfold, but obviously you can have it either way. And the first thing I'm going to do is to stamp the main feature, Ash the Fox, because all the other stamps sort of surround him. Right, gentle tapping. He's a lovely stamped silhouette, so want to make sure he's covered, and it's a fairly new ink pad, and it's Versifying Clair Nocturne. Don't want too much stray ink surrounding him, and I've got a cloth here just wiping off the area that I've covered that I shouldn't have done. Right, I think that will do. And he's going, starting off about an inch up from the bottom, but he's more or less in the middle of the card, but about an inch, just over an inch from the bottom. Pressing down firmly, but let the ink soak in first. Just gently. And then more pressure. I have a stamp pad underneath on my desk here, but you can use a stamp press if you want to. And there he is, he's gorgeous. Not bad at all. One or two little spots, so I'll just fill those in. Missing, that's one there and one there. And that's it. He's absolutely lovely. So that's Ash. Now the second stamp that I'm using, that I've already got on the block, is this Fairy Fir Tree 2. And it's a really elegant tree with a lovely trunk there, which I'm not using the trunk. I'm only going to use the top part of the tree. And not pigment ink for this one. I want the tree to look as if it's in the background, sort of behind Ash going away. So I'm using Ice Spruce Distress Ink. Just inking up the top of the tree where all the branches are. And then wiping off and making sure there's no ink on the trunk. And now I'm going to pop the card round because this is a tall stamp. So I want to make sure that as it's long, then I can judge that it's straight, and it's easier this way on its side. Oops, it's not stuck to the block. Must make sure of that. Yep. Right, now this is going, excuse me, this is going behind Ash, without masking him, which is why I took most of the ink off from the trunk, because it's coming down over his body, of course. Pressing firmly and up. And because it's a distress ink and it isn't a very detailed solid ink, it's more fluid, water-based, it's not competing with the black Versifying that I used on his body, and it looks as if it's behind him. So again, taking off all the ink from the trunk of the tree and then drying it off so I don't get any marks on the card. I'm coming over now towards me, to the side of Ash, but down a little bit. And I'm not pressing so heavily. Yes, I've got gentle pressure here, but I'm not putting a lot of pressure on. And that's just a different height, but it's coming down to the side of him. So it looks as if he's surrounded by Christmas trees. That's the plan anyway. Right, so inking up once more with the ice spruce. And taking off the ink from the trunk of the tree. I'm now going for another, even lower, the other side of him, and even less pressure, so that there's hardly any pressure on that at all. So if the image doesn't come out in a solid form, I'm not really bothered. It has come out enough, but it's still, yes, that's good. That's given me what I want. You can still see the image, but the ink isn't too strong so that it overpowers everything. So turning him round, Ash now is firmly in the woods with the trees. In fact, he could do with some more down this end. Now, shall I risk it? Yes, why not? So I'm going to pop some ink on the top so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to pop some more ink on the top. Again, wiping off all of this. Turn him round again. And then I'm going to see if I can get some more down beside his body again. Again, gentle pressure. I'm not putting too much pressure on it. Yes, that's it. So that's come down now, so that it's come down towards the bottom. That looks a bit better. Looks more like the original card. Okay. The only other stamp, well, there's a couple of other stamps to use, but the main one that I need to use now is the words, "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." And this is on the Lavinia Stamps website under the title of Believe in Magic. Gentle tapping. Now I'm just going to place this, or trying to make sure it's straight, and the word will is just hovering above the brush of this beautiful fox. Down. Hold it, let's let the ink soak in, and then down and up. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I think we're cracking on today. Next, it's this tiny little snowflake. I believe this comes in a set. Have a look under the pound stamps on Lavinia, or under Christmas. But I'm using this one again with the grey ink. And that's Ice Spruce Distress. I'm going to pop one down there, another one over there, and then a final one up there. And that gives the appearance that Ash is actually looking at the snow falling. Well, he is. Now, I need to ground him. So I'm taking a piece of copy paper. I'm going to try and I'm just going to pull this apart as Tracy does. Don't tear it down, it feathers. Just pull it so it rips. Turning it round again. I'm going to pop this underneath the fox's image, and using, again, back to the grey again, ice spruce again, and a makeup brush. I'm just going to gently, actually I may need to turn this around, yeah. Just going to gently ground him. Not overdoing the ink. Just want to see what he looks like. Oh yes, it's down there. Fairly simple card this for Christmas, but I quite liked how it turned out. Okay, that will do me. And then we're just putting on now the final bits and bobs. First of all, I'm going to put a little bit of shadow underneath him. Just darken it down a bit, and I'm using a Polychromos, Faber-Castell Polychromos in warm grey. So sticking to the grey theme, don't want anything too dark. And that just gives another little bit of shadow there. And then I've got enamel accents in classic cherry. I wish they would do a very deep red. Ranger, we need a very deep red in the enamel accents, please. And not that they're going to listen to me. And enamel accents in white as well. So I'm not splashing about now with paint today. I'm going to rely on these enamel accents. It's got really dark in here. Hope that you can see okay. Right, starting off with the pink one. Come on. That's it. So I want one there in a dome. That's good. And then don't want them too big actually. Vertical position and just down and up. Takes a little bit of practice, but once you get this, you never forget it. And now the white. So a bit more white than the pink, I think. And I don't want them too big. I like the very small dots of this stuff. But again, domes, don't want them flat. They're quite, I need them dimensional. Right. I think we're there. I think I'm there, yeah. I think that pink one there is rather on the large size, so just forgive me for that, and when you do it, just make it a little bit smaller. So let's go and see how it relates to the card that I made earlier. I don't think, oh, I'd forgotten to put a couple of white dots in the other snowflakes. So one there and one there. Oh, that'll do. Right. I'll have a look to see if you can see what you can see. Well, that's not bad. So that's the one that I've just made. This is the one that I made earlier this morning. And I'll be back tomorrow with yet another card. And that's going to be a really easy one because I've got loads on tomorrow. So I thought fast but effective. And so this is the card that I will be doing tomorrow. And it uses the bigger snowflake. Thank you so much for looking today. Thank you for your lovely comments. I did enjoy the extravaganza last weekend, and I hope that Tracy and the team will do the same again very soon. Bye for now, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.